A couple of years ago, I was invited to be a keynote speaker at an international conference in London. This was a nice professional honor and a great opportunity to represent my lab and the university before an international audience. I was excited for the trip and made the typical preparations. I made my travel arrangements, prepared my talk, provided materials to people publicizing the keynote address, and even found directions on the London Underground so that I could attend church and see interesting sights in London that I'd not seen before. The day came, my bags were packed, and I was on my way to London. And that is when I discovered that my passport was expired. My passport was expired. The conference had been advertising my keynote talk on their website for months. When conference attendees registered at the conference, they received a program that included my picture and biographical sketch. But I wouldn't be there because my passport was expired. What I thought was going to be a nice honor instead became one of the most embarrassing events of my life. I had done a lot of things to prepare for the trip, but I had neglected one essential thing. And because I had neglected that one essential thing, none of the other things mattered. The fact that I had counted out and packed just the right number of pairs of socks for the trip didn't matter because I'd forgotten something essential. It is easy in life to become busy with all kinds of things, even things that are important, but we have to be careful not to neglect those things that are essential. Otherwise, none of the other things will really matter.
I watched a couple of videos for you, I think 14 years ago, about your face, and I think this is not about the compliant mechanism, but I found this is really, really interesting when you talk about face, and I loved that. I loved that so much and resonated so much. I loved when you said that God has a plan, right timing, we don't know what is good and what's bad. So can you tell me about this part, since you already illustrated the relation with what you do in compliant mechanism? But I'm curious about this foundation of the face.
No, thank you. And thank you for bringing that up, because at the beginning, you asked me to define myself. And then right after I did, I was thinking of the audience, right, of who was listening. And then and then right after we started another topic, it's like, oh, we missed the most important part of who I am. And that is really, is my faith, right? And belief in God. It affects everything I do, how I treat people, why I'm doing this podcast, right? It's not because I want to go and show off the cool stuff in compliant mechanisms, because, hey, you know what? People may benefit. There's people listening to this that may benefit from the things that, that we've done. And we hope that that's the case, and that the things that we do can help make the world a better place. And I'll tell you, even on the Mark Rober project, where I said the stress that we had, but I'll tell you, I had as many little pieces of inspiration or spiritual guidance on that project as any I've ever had. And which really surprised me, because we're just making the world's smallest Nerf guns. But we end up in these situations where we're having problems and feel that spiritual guidance. And it was and many times in my life of feeling that help and that guidance, and also, again, just feeling of how I should treat people, what we should be doing to help the world be a better place. And I mentioned how important it is to work with my students and things, and to give them those experiences. And that's also a big part of all of this. And so, and I think there's more people in the world that feel that, and we probably just don't talk about it as much as we should publicly. And